Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Ross here, and actually welcome to a new series of Transport Fever. What happened to the old series? Well, I just wasn't really happy with it. It didn't go the way how I wanted it to go. It wasn't planning out. And so even though a lot of people are not tuning in, I'm still going to play this game because I absolutely am addicted to this game. Really am. And so in this first episode, I would really like to kind of highlight, showcase really how to start off an effective game. So I just want to kind of go over some things. You could do a couple different things right off the beginning. You could try to kind of maybe pull food to some food processing plant and then taking that to a city. It's a somewhat good idea. You can try to transport things over water. I would highly not recommend that. You can try to do different goods, but the cornerstone, the bread for your butter or the butter for your bread is always going to be in transporting passengers, and it's passengers that are going to make you money. Now, another thing, this has 150 people, this has 186, this city has 208, this one has 165. None of these are my biggest city. My biggest city is like somewhere over here, I think. I forget. It's Ventura. Oh no, sorry, it's on the opposite side. Okay, so this is at 272. Now, I used to think that, oh hey, I have to start over here. That is actually a really bad idea. It just is. I highly recommend not doing that. So what we're gonna do and how we're gonna make money really fast is connecting multiple different cities. Also, you connecting any kind of supply, any kind of resource to your city doesn't really make it grow. It gives you money, there's demand for it, but it doesn't actually make your city grow. What makes your city grow is connecting it with more connections to another city. So how we're gonna start this is very simply we're gonna start kind of connecting our cities. I'm gonna try to take this and connect the roads. And why I'm connecting the roads is just to kind of think ahead, if we can, if you can. So I'm just gonna kind of rotate it like this, and it doesn't necessarily have to be pretty, but we're gonna connect the roads here so the AI actually follows some kind of road making idea, and then also so we can plan around it. Now, me personally, I've come to the conclusion that one, you want always to build 2 tracks, okay? 2, I like to build automatically 340 because, upgrading later really sucks. Just personally, like I absolutely hate upgrading later. So we're gonna build a 320 millimeter track for 219, 200 something, 215. We could go to the 160 and we're at 151. So we're saving like 50,000. Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, that's not too much. So we're gonna build our 207 here. So we're starting at Elk Grove, and where we're gonna go next is the flattest terrain possible, which that is a hill, and we can actually, take out here. We can see that we could go through that little hill, we could go through that little hill, we could go across here and build a bridge to San Diego. But this is gonna be kind of like one of my central stations. But I think an easy place for this central station is probably right over here. And so we're going to take our upgrade tool, we're going to upgrade this road. There's no other roads to upgrade. And then we're going to kind of just start working on connecting these just ever so slightly. We don't want to demolish any buildings. We want to try to save as much money as possible. But trust me, not afraid to take some loans out. And we're just going to ever so slightly just connect all these nice little towns. Oh, come on. See, you can see in that yellow that we are going to demolish this building. And it might just be not possible. We might have to demolish this building. And that's okay. We'll just demolish it. And then build like that. Not too shabby. And then we're going to build... Whoa! Don't want that. We're gonna build kind of like that, and then like that. So now we have our city somewhat built. Or not really built, but we have the road network laid out. So again, we're gonna go with our 2 and 300s, and now we can see that we have some issues with the road, and that's okay. We're just gonna demolish it. We're gonna demolish it, and then we're gonna lay in our nice new train station, just how I want it. So we're gonna actually put it at an angle, like so. So we got a bridge over, it's not a pretty bridge, but it's a bridge. And we have a nice long train station already built in. So now we're gonna do double tracks automatically. Now, a lot of people only do single tracks right away. I don't think that's a wise decision. I think get the money spent, then you can actually see how much money you have. You wanna have multiple trains running on your track. Just make sure that you review it, make sure that it's going through as much as you want, and then see it's cutting away through here, and we're at 689. We go up, we go to 1.3, back to 689, and down. So we can see that like that is actually the cheapest price for right now. Just make sure you use those M and N keys to make sure that, yeah, the cutting is not necessarily beautiful and everything. At least it's cutting through the side of the mountain, not actually through the entire actual mountain itself. We have right side and left side tracks. It really doesn't matter which one that you do. I like to always have right side tracks. So right side is going into the station, and then we'll cross over. When it crosses over, we need to have a actual pass signal. We're gonna put a pass signal there. We're gonna put a pass signal here in front of the station. You don't necessarily need it, but it's just how I do it. I always rotate my camera. I come back over to the next station, and then I do the same thing. A little bit far off from the station, I switch it over, get my little signal out, signal in front, signal behind. Now that we have the signals there, we're telling that the train to stop here, and then it will go into that side of the station. Now we want to kind of find just a somewhat middle point here, and then we're going to actually make this a one-way track. This will force the trains to actually make a one-way decision. Now, this is kind of where you're going to waste some money. And this is just kind of in the beginning as you set things up, but I think this is just my personal trick. And it's not necessarily a trick, because this is only, what, 41,000 to build this? And then we're going to go on this side, and for 41 more thousand-ish, just make sure that we're on the right side here. We're going to be on the right side. We're going to build another one. And now we could actually buy our train with one, and then we'll buy 3 cars. Oh, not enough money. That's fine. That's why we have borrow. So we're going to buy 3 cars, and then we're going to set a line, new line, this to this. So we got one train here automatically. And then guess what, though? We're going to buy another train over here. 1, and then 1, 2, 3. Oh, not enough money again. That's fine. Borrow, and then buy again, and then set line. Boom. So now for about $4.5 million, actually just barely $4 million, we have a 2-track setup with 2 trains, and it's actually going one way each direction, which is absolutely perfect. And they're perfectly spaced between each other. So once this actually gets passengers, what we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna use this as a kind of central station here, attach into San Diego, and attach into other stations as well. We're gonna attach Surprise into Fort Worth. We will attach Elk Grove into San Bernardino. We'll attach San Bernardino into Fort Worth. And then we'll start kind of expanding and spider webbing out. Now, eventually you wanna have kind of like, you would want loops going around in every single direction. But these early years, it's really easy to set up multiple different areas and relatively fast. We can set up a kind of one for right here, and we're gonna go into our same kind of thing. We're gonna upgrade our roads. We're gonna then increase our road distance just a tad so we can connect in, make it nice and pretty. And then the same thing over here. Again, just a little bit, and then make it nice and pretty. We'll take a kind of overview of how this is set up. And this train track is going to want to come across. That's going to be mighty expensive. So let's think about where we want to put it. Probably we're going to put it right about. Now, obviously this road's in the way, but we're not worried about that right now. What we want to see is just if we go from inside track and then we just rotate. Oh, 85 million. That's hilarious. And it's going to be pretty high price now. Yeah, 60 million. Wow, look at that. $60 million to get those two connected. But that's okay. Now what we can do is connect these two together instead. We see the price, we're like, we don't like that price. It's okay, we just delete some, and then we can just kind of push this along over here. Get our road set up. I like stone bridges. It's just a personal preference. You can use whatever one you want. It does affect your speed of your vehicles, so you might want to keep that in mind. Now, for future reference, we want to get over to Elk Grove. Elk Grove, we're going to have to, again, come from this side. We don't want to go through the mountain necessarily. You could, but again, it's just, you know, it's personal preference. Also, money. Money is definitely a thing. We're talking about, you know, the cheapest way possible to do things. I definitely don't necessarily do it always the cheapest, but I think I like to plan out necessarily where I'm going. That's why I like to, you know, have these kind of big stations. And so I can have them already pre-planned where like these are permanent fixtures now. I know that these are what I'm going to use. I don't have to demolish these. I don't have to add to them. This is what I'm going to get. And well, it helps later grow. So now we're going to get two different stations hooked up together. And same kind of idea. Right track and over to, oh, too much slope. The one warning that just is always there, too much slope. We're gonna have put our signals again, go to the other side, same thing. It's under the bridge, but that's okay. And then we're just gonna grab like right here, and then right there, get our signals out, signal 1 and signal 2. Now we're gonna put our trains depots in again. Just make sure we rotate around. Train depot 1 and train depot 2. Now we just have to buy a new train. Buy 1, 2, 3. Not enough money. We're gonna borrow some more money. Buy. Set new line. Oh, where did it go? Set new line. Boom and boom. New line is set up. Go over to here. Buy another new train. Same idea. 1, 2, 3. Set line 2. So now, in the beginning, very beginning of the game, we have taken out, let's see, a total of $8 million. We've spent just a little over $7.5 million. We have 2 separate lines actually connecting 4 cities. So 2 separate lines. Eventually, we'll be able to connect these themselves. We might have to do a little kind of loop here so it's not going over the bridge or over the wide area. We might, you know, kind of cheat and do something else. But nonetheless, we have multiple cities already connected. Now we just need to get a connection that connects in between these both as well. But nonetheless, this is how you kind of set things up. Now, once we get the ball rolling, the one thing that we also are going to want is actually to have bus stations. The one key thing about bus stations for me is to have a main terminal kind of close to your train station. You can see it highlighted by yellow, or not yellow, but by white, that it's in the zone. Now, make sure that you kind of back off from the road so you can upgrade the roads later and not actually destroy this. So now we have our one bus station. Now we're going to use just the bus stops. We're going to be going around in a circle here, so we're going to want to hit this area from here. And we can see right off the bat that we're getting all the way over to the middle area over there. If we kind of connect here, we're not getting too much more, but we're going to pre-plan that we want that area handled. Now we can see that we're handling both almost in there. So we're handling this road right here. Again, we're gonna hit that curve. And now we're gonna hit this corner right here into here, and then we'll hit our curve. Now we'll get our depot. Again, a little bit farther off. We're gonna buy our road vehicles. I like to have 6. So I do 6, but I do 6 in each way. So we're gonna show you set line all, new line. So we're gonna go 1, and then we're on the right side of the road because we're in the United States. Not to mention that it doesn't really matter where you map you play. It's always the right side. And we're gonna go here, here, and then back. So now we have 7 stops all going into this station. Now we're gonna buy some more road vehicles. We're gonna set a new line as well, but instead of starting at the station here, we're gonna start on the right side over here. Hitting the bus stops. All around the outside of the town currently. And then the last stop is going to be the bus stop. This allows it to use the opposite side, and then also doesn't kind of mess around. Sometimes if you start trying to start in the same place, it doesn't like it and it starts freaking out. Now we want to do that in every single area, and we want that bus station, that first bus station, to be into the capture area of the train station itself. Now your bus stops themselves, they can be wherever you deem fit, just to make sure that you capture as much area as possible. And like right here, this is great, is that we're in the middle of the city, and now we can kind of extend out this way. But you can see it really doesn't matter where you necessarily put them. Close to intersections is always nice to increase the capture area, but it really doesn't matter in the long term. It just matters that you capture as much area that you can, and also that it's a effective route. If it's just making a crazy amount of turns, that wouldn't necessarily be an effective route. And then you're gonna run into issues where you have so many road vehicles out there that it's not actually picking up the people in the amount of time that they want it. So again, we're gonna set a new line. We'll start at the bus stop. We'll work our way around the loop. You can see that it adjusts the path as we make this. And then we're gonna start closing the loop off. We have bus stops that are obviously not gonna be used right now, but later they will be. We're gonna buy more road vehicles, again with the same 6. So basically 12 vehicles each city that you do this with. And we're just gonna go again through the opposite way of the city itself, making sure that we grab the right side of the venue as well, with the last stop being there. And now we're just gonna hit kind of start, and then everything is gonna start out nice and smooth, keyword hopefully, and then we're gonna finish out these other cities with their transport system as well. So now we're going to start our time, and actually our trains are going to pull out of their stations and everything is going to start working out. As you can see, I have 4 cities that are connected, and also every single city has its own little carriage or metro system and counter-rotating areas. So one rotates clockwise and counterclockwise. Our trains are going to be moving out, and then also it starts ticking off with the passengers that should be waiting at the station relatively soon. The transport systems with the mass transit will take the passengers from around the city, transporting them to the station itself. We can always get rid of the depots and start connecting them as well. And then we can try to, finagle this, that these cities connect here and this city connects here. And it's just a matter of playing with it and how it works. But nonetheless, we're going to start racking in the money. And the $9 million loan that we take now is actually going to start really paying off. And we just started. We have not advanced the clock until now. And we have all this set up. So this is kind of at least in my opinion, a good way to launch your kind of career in Transport Fever. If you found this helpful, definitely hit that thumbs up and also leave a comment below. And tell me what you think. Tell me what kind of ideas that you've come across and what has worked for you. But as we see our first passenger, very first passenger, 2 passengers are already waiting before the next train actually gets into the station, which is awesome. Uh-oh, we have a finagle problem though. Line 2 is not working correctly. Now we can actually kind of go into here. I'm gonna really quickly set up some lines. Uh-oh, we need to take another load though. That's okay, just borrow a line here. And then we're gonna quickly hit yes one way, yes one way. Check our line. Okay, our line's good. Obviously, we still have that train there, though. So we need to fix that this train is not on the right side of the track. We will move track. And he moves over. Kind of messed up our timing now, though. Just a tad. But that's okay. That's actually pretty messed up fairly well. So what we're gonna do is just real quickly stop this one and wait for this train to get into station. And once it turns around, we'll start this one back up. And then they should be, as you can see over here, these two are meeting in that middle on that one way, relatively close to each other. And the first year is already passed. Next guy is in the station, picking up some nice guys to join in the train. We'll start the next one, and now they should be relatively spaced out. Again, like I said, please hit that thumbs up if you found this useful. Leave a comment below, tell me what you think. Oh, we got 2 passengers over there. Lovely. And it is a lot of money that you're spending. You're spending a lot of money in the beginning, but it just helps kickstart that off, I think, a little bit faster, in my opinion. As always, though, I'm the Flying Ross, and I'll check you guys next time.